I want to keep going. No, I don't mean to. No, I'm not trying to save. Wrong button. Keep forgetting that A on the Nintendo controller is fucking on the right. I can't skip this. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. Ugh, my heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. I was not. Maybe. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you'd started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it! It's terrifying! If I get through this, I don't ever see this inside of a courtroom again! Oh, young Ryunosuke, you don't know better. Hahaha. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. Well, now it's clear that she did it, right? Miss Giselle Brett, a student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start! Dr. Wilson wasn't alone! There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself, and then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table. I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor, and just after I bent down and picked it up. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. What, are you the old man? Oh, there you are. Well done, both of you. Professor Mikotoba. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. I still don't trust you, Mikotoba. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why. Funny you say that, considering there's like fucking multiple old men portraits up there. Who are they? If your justice system is fucking young, how are there so many fucking presiding judges? Unless they're all presiding at the same time? Where are they? Where are all those old people? Why did we get like a younger looking guy? I want the old man. I want old man judge. Aw. I firmly believe I will need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I'm gonna get to go too! We get to, Kazuma and I get to go overseas together! I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Wait, am I? Maybe not. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life. I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. I love Kazuma. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? I knew I was gonna love him because I saw how hot he was, but now I really do love him. So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel it. Where? Kazuma! Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. Oh god, don't look at me. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? He did? I don't remember that. If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you probably are aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMaine, and it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, You're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement with our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. But is she a spy? Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to squash our case. But I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need.
Of course. Who is she? Good luck, Kazuma-sama.
Sama? Sama? Who are you? Who is you? Do I need to be concerned? Defendant Naruto, court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once.
It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow. Before those old fossils know what's hit them. Whatever. I ruined your cool sentence. I'm sorry, Kazuma. Kazuma.
What?
Thank you. Really.
What for?
Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. I love you too. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Yeah, we got this, Yunosuke. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those Sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on the University Street. But man loves the Sukiyaki, hey! With an extra large portion, of course. If you don't know what Sukiyaki is, it's like... How would you describe Sukiyaki? I think it's like kind of done in like a nabe pot of sorts where you have like meat, vegetables, I think noodles maybe, and like mushroom tofu. Like a variety of things. I think the main thing is meat though, but it's cooked in like all in one pot. Kind of like hot pot, but it just cooked there. It's like sits there. I think that's what Sukiyaki is. But for a split second, I thought the fucking stack of documents was a nabe pot for Sukiyaki. I was like, oh, they're eating already. The court hereby resumes the trial of Yunosuke Naruto. Prosecutor Aochi, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Yes, Your Excellency. Against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government.
Sorry.
You don't gotta be sorry, it's not your fault.
Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down on our nation's founders?
You blame the people of Britain then, because these two people are from Britain, right?
Again, terribly sorry.
Maybe you should fucking second guess if you want to let these fucking idiots into the country. I didn't say that.
If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Yunosuke.
I love how fucking reassuring is it. Why I want friends like that by my side. Just someone that's so reassuring. That's not to say the people in my life are not reassuring. That's weird to say.
What do you mean?
A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is that what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England?
Shut up! Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing! Nothing in the situation our nation finds itself in! By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong! Diplomacy has never been more critical! Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures!
I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who can arguably study harder too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there's one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Well, there would be a future, it'd just be very corrupt, you know? Like how America is. Well said, Inosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror. Not everyone could be as cool looking as you.
Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. A visiting student from the Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett.
Yes! Your Excellency!
What she look like? What she look like? Who she is? Who's this hoe? Who the hoe be? Who the hoe? Look at her. Hoe ass motherfucking swan head, bitch, dumb fuck. Look at her butt.
Take off your damn hat. Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan and from such a distant land.
Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussion takes place without tea!
You guys idiots? Is that true? No idea. I'm sure it wouldn't hurt.
Sir, oh, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. Why are you fucking here?
What are you doing?
I have been working undercover as the head waiter at La Carnival, but my true—
Yes, we know about you already.
Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first.
Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today, you said something to me. What? You said your powers of observations are the one thing you're sure of. Oh yes, I think I did, didn't I? Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Inosuke, but power of observations aside, your powers of descriptions are sorely lacking. He's not mad. He's not happy with us. Guilty.
So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please.
What? What are we at, a fucking ball? Put your goddamn— what is that? Homegirl speaks English! Limited at something. What? Okay, whatever.
I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but what?
The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in UMay University's medical faculty.
Oh my, what a weird treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people.
What is that? It's so funny, like, I get it, because the idea is that they're in Japan, right? So this English that we're seeing is actually supposed to be in Japanese, and then they're not supposed to know English. I get it, but also it's just funny.
I'm afraid I don't understand a word you say, but it sounds beautiful as a hummingbird song.
And as far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Oh, you understand what she's saying then? Yes, I agree. Ha, you'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes. We're going with them. We have to. We can't let our boyfriend go by himself. Oh, sorry. Let me read that line better. Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Inosuke.
The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct?
She says yes. This could take some time. She did not say yes in that fucking long string of words. Maybe she did, I don't know. And so even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. What's her face look like? I want to see her face. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting. When you're the one who engineered her escape. It was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your replenished eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps?
Replenished. Apparently, it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight.
Do you mean to say?
Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Well, we fucking know that she did it, obviously. Put your butt down.
Order in the court.
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is.
Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described.
Gosh, she could be hiding a fucking bazooka in her hat for all we know, and you're just letting her wear it, I guess, because she's English woman. She gets away with it. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak. That's surprisingly a large meal for such a dainty-looking woman, but I guess you can't judge a book by its cover. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. And then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. What kind of fucking statement was that?
This is a condemning testimony indeed.
No! I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all! Fuck your Iyaris.
Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard! And look at this snow-white angel! I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words those courts are gonna believe!
You're still making the same mistakes, Yunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn.
But he's so annoying!
Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before, and reported back to the Bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there is nowhere about her person where she could have concealed the firearm.
Really? You gonna say that with a straight face? I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit she wanted to. Useless! I mean, what? Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot.
It was in the swan's mouth. There were no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witnesses' very own words on the matter.
That's ridiculous! If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it!
Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke.
But I didn't fire the gun I picked up! There must have been another gun there that day!
You're right about that. Which means, this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. Can't even fucking see her. She's smirky. But she's do a smirk.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Fuck this hoe. I arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. Let's press everything. Why the hell not? After 2 p.m., in fact. That's really quite a late lunch, isn't it? Don't you fucking... What the fuck?
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late luncheons are on vogue, isn't that right?
No.
No.
Oh, she spoke.
Ah!
A decisive English no has quite a sting to it. Digital woman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would have lunch together. But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late.
Yes, yes, that all makes perfect sense.
Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is.
So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? Are guns even legal here in Japan? In this time period? The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered myself only a beef steak.
There was this fucking seltzer water. Who did that? Who ordered that?
He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he had just had his tooth removed at the Hada clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left?
Dear me, what a harrowing experience! To have traveled to a distant island on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight.
And so the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all? That's right. Other than some carbonated water.
Oh. Just water?
Yes. The professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each.
Each? Where's the other cup then?
They each raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Ryunosuke, about the witness's last statement?
It's meaningful.
I fucking love it when he looks over his hand. That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case.
Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing,
Wait, I know. Ryunosuke, it's okay. The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony.
Well sidestepped, counsel.
Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony.
Oh God, how does she move the eyes on the eye mask thing? Gladly, she says. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm gonna remember that one. Gas up your boy. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I hope there are some more useful tips you'd be picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. Everything you do is important, Kazuma. And the professor and I said, cheers over a glass of carbonated water. So is it enough that I just present the picture? Oh shit! No, my finger slipped! Well, what about that last statement made by the witness? Ah shit, my it's not that my finger, well, my finger just slipped a little.
It's perfectly reasonable to me.
Exactly! Perfectly reasonable in every way!
Perhaps you should take a leaf out of the witness's book and learn to be more reasonable yourself.
Oops. Alright, I just need to calm down and think everything through again from the start. Okay, my B, finger slipped. Okay, from here. Present, and then go to this. Don't. Hey! I need you to Igiyari for me, please. Why'd you look over? That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. that it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says.
Well, that is... It's odd. It's very odd. Dear me, what's odd in the defense's inability to express itself?
Yunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you?
Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers?
Miss Brett just told us she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1.
Oh. You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over... minutia? I think that's how you say that word? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case?
Minutia, you say? Is it minutia? I hope that's how you say it. That's a really nice word. Could it be that the detective here removed the glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course, no, of course not. I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try to tell me you can clink with only 1? The doctor drank from the bottle. You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. So she understands the Japanese, but she doesn't speak it? Is that what it is? I guess that would have to make sense, because how would she take a class otherwise if she doesn't understand it?
Inspector, what did the lady say?
It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table.
What?
It was also terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she's saying.
Good gracious!
Sorry.
But don't you sorry me. I don't like this lady at all.
There, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all.
Oh, please.
We must remember that the student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing glasses too in her state of disarray?
That's absurd!
Oh, really? So do we take it that you are not going to accuse this vulnerable young and beautiful woman of mischief?
What?
No. This can't be put down to mischief.
I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. Bitch had a bag! Also, I'm gonna turn on my lights. I'll be right back. Lights on. You can see my glaring, greasy forehead. All there. Pristine and greaseful.
A handbag, you say?
Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England. Do Japanese ladies not carry purses of sorts?
So, the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already.
Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed the glass.
That's not fucking what? You idiots.
I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement?
Well, I don't know really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's a deeper significance there, it's... the handbag? Wait! The lady put the glass in her handbag, you said?
Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items.
Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There were no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun.
You're right.
Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too. I like it when he calls his partner.
What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard?
It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire the gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't seriously be suggesting...
Inspector Hosonaga! Yes. Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. You're as I thought. In other words, another gun. The one that was actually used to kill the professor. Could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag.
No!
I forgot there's a gallery here with fucking, what was it, military and government officials?
Order! Order! Order!
What is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ochi?
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? They see your bundling incompetence. Now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Tajupu. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly, you have no faith in the police. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. What? His mail. His photographic print. I'm sorry, what? Huh? The man has a tattoo on his arm. Of a bull? This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. I'm sorry, so she stole... What? So it clearly has a latch. What? Is he insinuating that the bag is like doesn't have like an actual proper pouch but is see-through? Whatever. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag.
Well, I never. You can see right through to what's inside.
Are you sure there's not a fucking secret pouch? What kind of bag is this? What if you have change or something? It would just fall right out. What a stupid useless bag if that has no other pouch in there, or pocket. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment.
So the contents are clearly visible.
Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. So here's the fucking question. Why she steal the fucking cup? Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. Oh, he runs into the bag. Oh.
Order! Order! Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once.
Certainly, Your Excellency. Photograph of the handbag has been entered into the court record.
I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel.
Not yet, ho. Let me examine this. A photograph taken by Hosonaga after the incident occurred. It shows Miss Brett handbag on the chair by the victim's table. Why? Oh, you can zoom in on the Minotaur. You can also, it looks like an eye looking sideways. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So this is stupid. This bag is dumb. And you only had a glass. Why would you bring a bag with nothing but a fucking No, it wouldn't have had anything in it, right? Because you stole the fucking glass. First of all, you a thief. But you just brought a bag with nothing in it. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
Buddy.
The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling.
Indeed, and there's only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over at the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime.
Oh, buddy.
No, just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around, I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start.
Kazuma? Daijoubu? Kazuma? I'm sorry, Yunosuke. Huh? Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue.
What? You mean this is it? Ch-ch-chi. I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student. But the weak are meat while the strong eat. You were wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice. A fact you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell.
This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma, his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma, what? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means, there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Why is he sleeping? Don't sleep, Kazuma, it's not the time.
Very well, I will now proceed immediately to the ruling.
Oh, we're waiting for the Mikotoba and his assistant to bring something. We still have yet to get that yet.
It seems we'll be able to report to the British government on time after all.
That smug little... Ooh, what are we wearing on our hand? I didn't notice that. Oh, that's the ring. That thing I saw on his finger that I thought was a ring, it's just been a fucking... What do you even call that? Like a glove? It's not really a glove. It's like a thing. It's like a cool thing that you can wear for some reason. I don't know what reason you would wear it for, but it's like a cool little thing. Ah, man, I kind of hoped it was a ring. I thought there was gonna be a story behind it.
Yunosuke Naruhodo, having considered all the evidence placed before me, I hereby find...
I do love that when the judge gets shocked, he actually does a little, like a little jump. Wait, Your Excellency! Yunosuke? I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
This amateurness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic particle of the courtroom.
Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As this photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. How have we not seen his hand the entire time, really? Now, that means that there was a problem with the evidence. Some significant detail, I mean. Then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
This is blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. All it shows is the handbag that the gentleman is carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence.
You'd better know what you're doing, Yunosuke.
I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag.
Ha! My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it. A whirl?
Very well, I will grant the defense one final opportunity.
Nothing like a little save can't hurt. Save? Thank you. Okay. Okay. Okay.
What?
Oh my god, he has his hands in front of him. We've never seen the judge move so much before. Man, I love this game. We've only just started, but man, I love this game.
But be warned that if I am unsatisfied with my response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Your Excellency.
So, take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosonaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant detail to which you have alluded.
You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant. I mean, the only thing I can think of is this, but I don't know if this has anything to do with the case. What could this mean? Well, let's find out. Look at this here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist.
That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description.
Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle, whatever you would come up with. A burn, you say? On the victim's wrist? Clearly that's nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag.
Yes, that is a burn mark. You're right.
Go on, Inspector.
The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. Wait, there's something I wanted to look at. Oh! So... the man burned his hand on this. But what does that tell us? Oh, wait, that tells us that the stake was on his side. That he went to grab for the cup and he accidentally touched the plate? But why would the food be on his side? Huh. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report.
What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either.
But
The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Aochi points out, unless a firm connection to this case has been shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn.
Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the dean and the other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now.
Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway.
What is your thinking on this, Runosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging, in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right.
I am?
Oh, if we could just link that burn to the case. If we could do that, we might be able to prise this shutting door back open again. It's okay, I know. Wakata. Wakata means I know.
Just give up, counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that.
Indeed, I'm afraid that without evidence, I cannot allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture.
But if we had evidence that irrefutably linked the burn of the victim's wrist to the case, then you would allow it?
I would, yes.
To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what that burn really means. It's okay, we know it.
So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and the trial.
Right? Should be enough that I present that, right?
What's this, counsel? Yet another print.
Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore.
Do hurry up, Rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be inexcusable.
Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer, if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How?
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is it in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn?
I just don't understand what this tells us, though. Like, why was it on his side?
The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate that steak is served on.
The plate?
Your Excellency, are you alright?
As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. Oh damn, that steak is fucking raw as hell. God dang. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival. Oh. This emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape. What does this tell us though? Rinosuke, you genius. Oh, he had a glimmer in his eye. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant. The question is, what does this have to do with the case and why? I don't get.
But even if that's the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before, or the day after that. Before that, it might most likely happen at some other unrelated time.
Well, Sadly, Prosecutor Aoji, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks.
Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly.
But...
Yeah, really, they shouldn't have a metal plate on a thing that's going to be like at a bajillion degrees serving food. That just seems like a poor... whatever. I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And, although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Now, what does that tell us, though? Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds.
It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then.
So he was dead. Okay, so then my thinking was correct in that he was dead beforehand, and then whatever that bang was just a random sound, so that he would have been dead beforehand. Maybe that's why he kept it on for 3 seconds. Maybe I don't fucking know. He's been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I have not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of Le Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation.
But you're a detective, not a waiter!
Yes. There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And yet Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that day or any before it. That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What do you suggest? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day,
that would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel.
Or maybe, was it because of the anesthesia? Maybe? Like, was he because he was hit with the anesthesia that he didn't feel any pain? So what, he was just like having a chat and he put his hand on the hot plate and just didn't think about it? Was he also shot then and didn't realize it until he died from the blood loss? I don't fucking know. That's be some strong, powerful anesthesia, whatever. Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would, without any question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Aochi?
Well, yes, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think... Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this. I'm starting to think that maybe... we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already dead.
Boy!
No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible. Apart from in one particular situation.
Counsel, are you suggesting?
Yes, it's only possible. If the man was already dead.
Already?
Dead?
Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. Stern. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. I'm sorry, what? Really?
That's madness!
How could no one have noticed, like, just a man slumped over, though? That doesn't make any sense.
Order, please! Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once! The victim was killed by a gunshot!
That's right! That's absolutely right, Your Excellency! This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, but clearly, he has no grasp of the facts!
No, Prosecutor Ouch, it's you who has no grasp of the facts.
I beg your pardon?
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it.
Incredible! I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But, Your Excellency!
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I'm prepared to pass judgment.
Thank you, Your Excellency. What was that smile?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help.
Oh, she knows the Japanese.
Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
Oh, what?
Miss Brett! You speak Japanese!
Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country after all.
But then, why haven't you been speaking to an interpreter until now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible.
Oh, you racist. Oh, she racist. She racist as hell.
But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicate with you all on your own level.
Oh, well, you are the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afford us.
I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson.
So, we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter.
Things are getting interesting, Yunosuke.